Do y'all realize all that I do for you and that what I gotta go through? Let me ask you a question. Do y'all realize all that I do for you and all the things that I go through? Listen, we got people out here that is super obsessive and crazy. I want y'all to walk with me for a second. This is not about the show, but somebody sent me a screenshot where somebody is online saying that I'm a sex offender. Moi? I'm a sex offender. Somebody's online saying that Taharka Bey is a sex offender. Moi? Either whoever is saying that has the dumbest audience on the planet Earth, or they believe that their audience is the dumbest audience on the planet Earth. Do you know that in any state you can pull up the sexual offender registry? Do anybody know that? Press 7 if you know that. Do anybody know that? Do anybody know that any document that anybody have, anybody can pull it up to see if it was doctored or altered? Press 7. Do anybody know these things? In fact, pun intended, moi, sex offender? It's moi? Listen.
Wow. All right, y'all. What's up? Mr. J Dizzle. You know what? I got to bring back Nettercat. Nettercat. We'll get to what that means later, but man, I just thought that was a very appropriate intro for this video. I'm not going to make it long. I got a lot of things to do. Matter of fact, I got to catch a flight. Yes, my broke ass, according to some, has to catch a flight because I can't afford property where I live. So I'm going to the dirty so I could, check some things out. It is what it is. More on that later. So I really ain't got too much time on this, right? You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do right here. First of all, I want to make note that if you recall when that video first came out, I think me, DSP, and Research Ninja, because, this was the channel that first premiered the sex offense registry check that showed he was on the registry. And of course, he came back capping like it couldn't be possibly a real document. But we told you that was cap. Matter of fact, I thought it was interesting. Look, I know people take different information differently. People grieve differently. I can't judge how someone reacts to certain things. But I personally did find it funny that he never denied it and that he only goofballed his way through it with the more. I'm like, just think about this yourself, y'all. If you were accused of being a sex offender, would you laugh it off like that? Would you find it appropriate to laugh it off? Like, remember, this is like 2 weeks ago when this happened. Never has he said he's not on there. What he said is check the registry, knowing that he wouldn't register now. Remember, the documents that we showed are 6 years old. And we showed you different ways how you can come off the registry. How they expire after time. How maybe if you don't even register after a minute, you won't show up. Or if you had a situation and your conviction was reversed. Because keep in mind, to be on the registry means you were indeed convicted. So let me change the language. Because in actuality, we never accused Taharka Bey of being a sex offender. Not once did we ever accuse him. What we did is we showed you the paperwork that he signed. We showed you the court documents. The court documents said that he was a registered sex offender, not us. We just showed you the documents. He said they had to be doctored. That's interesting. He said that the paperwork had to be doctored. Well, let's see. Because we told y'all several times over, ain't nothing doctored, man. Like, look, you're not going to ever see me purposely presenting false information or not at least doing enough research to be confident what I'm showing you or telling you is 100% facts. Yeah, we goofed around on that little trial that we did, that mock trial that we did, where DSP did a great job playing Taharka Bey, by the way. But it was really serious. And we still didn't mislead or give any false information. We did not doctor anything. What we did is we pulled it up. We showed you the case number so you could pull it up. Because like I said, it doesn't matter who pulls it up. It's going to read the same. No matter who pulls it up. We told Taharka Bey, yo, you could prove that it's not the case or that we doctored it, because he never did prove it was doctored. We said you could prove it. Just pull it up yourself. Anybody who don't believe us, pull it up yourself. Don't trust what we're saying. Pull it up yourself. Receipts are receipts. Now, apparently, that's exactly what Taharka did. He did the research. He pulled it up himself. And let's see what happened when he pulled it up himself. Now, notice when he did his thing yesterday, never did he show the paperwork. Matter of fact, he went from he's going to bust our heads to the white meat and prove that we're false and all this, all that gibberish and blabble he was saying. He went from that to all of a sudden now he's not even going to talk about it on his channel anymore. He's only going to talk about it on his website. He doesn't even want to do it on his channel anymore. He said because he knows his kids watch the channel. And I'm sure he doesn't want them to know his past. See, he doesn't matter. He doesn't mind if he's exposing people, knowing their children could be watching. But when it comes to him, a whole different standard. So he went and got the documents, never showed anyone. Now, don't you think, now, if someone was innocent of such an egregious crime that they've been associated with, don't you think they would be rushing to show you their innocence? Wouldn't it make sense? If the paperwork was doctored, he should have been able to pull that original paperwork and show the difference between what we showed and what he showed, but he didn't. He showed the exact same paperwork. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but check this out.
For views. I do declare, AJ, you might be right about that there, sir. And there is Sister Faith Speaks Life. This is going to be good with my after dinner coffee.
All right.
Okay. All right, sorry. Go back to the picture time.
Well, check this out. So just for context, this was something that he did, I believe, on TaharkaBey.com, where he took a screenshot and he took a picture, and in the background he was showing that he was on the computer looking at the documents. Now, of course, he tried to cover it up with the letters and all that, but of course the research ninja came through and did her ninja shit and zoomed in, and what do we see when she zooms in?
Yeah. Now this is Taharka down
Oh,
at.
look at that! Why? That's why he put the letter.
I can tell you stories.
Mm.
Now he's down at the county place pulling up his information, right? And look at what he didn't know not to cover this part.
First things first, do you notice that that is the exact same paper that we've been showing you? Can you tell that much? Press 7 in the chat if you can tell. Can you tell that that's the exact same paper? I don't have it on this computer. This is a brand new computer. I don't have it on this computer. But you can just look through any of the videos that we've made over the last couple weeks, and you'll see it several times over. Sonetta, I think, took it down. At least one of his he put on private. I think because he's really afraid. I don't want to say he's really afraid, but maybe he's not as confident in the legitimacy of the paperwork, especially when Taharka Bey starts throwing around that litigation. He's going to be the road to litigation. He's suing Sonetta, which is cap. And we told you that since the first day he said it. He's not suing shit. He can't. Why can't he sue? Because it's true. Because those are legit paperwork. That wasn't doctored. Anyone can pull it. We told you that. Anyone can pull it. It might cost a few dollars. You might have to, you know what I'm saying? But you can pull that original paperwork. We're not the ones that said that he was on the sex offender list. The paperwork said it, and he signed that paperwork, meaning that he agreed to it or acknowledged it to be true. So he's not suing anyone. In fact, I'm going to show you a little something in case you ain't seen it, Sonetta and Napah, because y'all should actually be suing him for revenge porn, because what he did fits the description perfectly of what revenge porn is, and that is a felony and a civil offense. You can get him civilly or criminally. This is why he tried to make a threat, a veiled subliminal threat to Napah, saying that, hey, if you pursue that, I'm going to have your real name and your address and all that other information, and you have to go throughout your history and this and that, because he's trying to discourage her, because he knows that's illegal. Doesn't even matter if he's like straight up selling it. Doesn't even matter if you're selling it, even though he indirectly is. And guess what? Guess what revenge porn is considered? Oh, it's considered a sexual crime. So that would be his second offense. We would put him on the second or third tier if he's not there already. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's see what the good sister got.
Right here on the computer. Right there on the computer. What that say? Is that doctored on the computer? You have done? You little salty, ain't you? You's a little salty, Franklin. Franklin, you's a little salty.
And you know what? This is the same shit he tried to do with Tennessee. Remember he tried to throw two of his images in front of Tennessee when it was spelled wrong and he tried to hide it? It's the same shit here.
Yo, bruh.
The same shit here.
Are what they call it, a
tree jumper.
A skinner, or what they call it, skin somebody.
Look at that. What do we got there? That is the exact same paper. Record check. All that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Right here that he's trying to hide. Yes, that Y is still there. All she did is zoomed in on his own picture. He went to the courts or wherever he went to pull those documents. That's him looking at the computer. His dumbass took a picture, thought he can cover it up with these letters and shit. Zoom in, and what do you see? You see exactly what we showed you being verified. So it was doctored, is what he said at first. We're crazy, obsessed, goofy, graveyard channels. But then when he did his own research, what did he find? Y'all, do you think that if he would have found some paperwork different than the one that we showed you, and it didn't have him as a registered sex offender, do you think he would hesitate to show that all over YouTube? You don't think he would have made a video claiming, declaring his innocence and how wrong we were and proving that we doctored the shit? But we told him from the get-go, prove that it's doctored. Anyone, prove it's doctored. Prove it. Pull it yourself. Well, he did it. He done did it. And you can see right there. What does that say? That is the same shit with the Y. Now, what does that Y stand for? Does it stand for yellow? Huh? Does it stand for yap? Yapper? No, it stands for yes. It stands for yeah. It stands for yep. Registered sex offender? Yep. It's show and prove. So anyone out there who was doubting, and I get it. Look, I get it. I'm pretty sure there's some people who even supports this channel or Onslaught Media or Exposing Taharka Bey, that even though they were still supportive, I'm pretty sure some people still had doubts. Is it really real? Because I know that it's not an easy thing to accept when someone, especially if you used to follow or support this dude, it's not easy to accept it. I don't like accepting things like this coming from any person that has any type of influence in our community. That's one of those things like you just can't accept. And then when it's proven to be true, even the people who still support him will still just dismiss it some kind of way in their own mind cognitive dissonance kicks in and they can't accept the reality. Because what does that make them if they're foolish enough to believe this dude for this long, support this dude for this long, and now he's a fucking sex offender? That'd be a hard pill to swallow. I get it. But you don't have a choice at this point. Any more is out there. Look, man, y'all might not like this, but it's the fact. The fact that he could even operate in any legitimate Moorish circles. Now, I know he really doesn't per se. But if he still could operate in any legitimate Moorish circles, if the Moors ain't coming at this dude with fire right now, then your whole organization is delegitimate. It's no longer legitimate at that point. You cannot have a sex offender, woman and children beater, criminal record longer than the day is, and him having any kind of legitimacy within the Moorish world. Y'all should be putting this out everywhere so that he can't go to any temple anywhere in this country without being called out for what he is. Period. Any legitimate organization should clean house like that. That's just a minimal. Because you ain't going to have no Panthers running around, no legitimate Panther organizations with no sex crimes on their fucking jacket. And I could prove that. You know how I could prove that? Because coincidentally, there is a Panther that ran from formation to formation, getting kicked out, and sometimes even getting physically disciplined. To where he had to get and make up his own little shit. And of course, he's never seen anywhere in legitimate circles. And the coincidence of it is, guess who he supports? And guess who supports him? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get it. Let me get this. Birds of a feather, I guess, right? Now, when I first made this video, I did not know, we did not have the information of Taharka Bey being a registered sex offender. In fact, when that first information came, the intent wasn't to associate him with being on the sex offense registry. It was a surprise. It just happened to be in the paperwork that was already pulled. And then somebody just happened to notice it in that said paperwork. But that wasn't the intent. The intent was never. That's why no one, you know what I'm saying? But let me see something here. There we go. This person. Now, I did a video about this a while back. Yeah, this was on the 25th of January. I did this video. And within this video, I showed you an organization that I said I thought was a little bit shady. Didn't know none of these people, nothing that they're about. The vibe just wasn't coming off legitimate to me. Now, I mean, the first red flag is that they're talking to Taharka Bey at this point. You know what I'm saying? That was the first red flag. But then I just looking at them, they look a little fugazi. They look like they're really just cosplaying at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're on you're on a YouTube channel. You're not really out there, you know what I'm saying? But you're in full uniform and full garb and all that. And that's just not what Panthers typically do. Most of the times when Panthers are doing their thing, they're not, you wouldn't know they're Panthers. Those are called BDUs. And typically Panthers just don't wear that for no damn reason. Because usually the work that Panthers are doing is no different than any other social work that you'll see in the community. That's just to keep it a buck. It's not the sensationalized, fun, sexy stuff that you guys see, you know, with the black power and the guns. That's not really the typical day for a Panther. So it just kind of looked a little weird. And then old girl didn't really seem like she really understood the principles or that she really had enough work in the community by the way she was answering some of these questions and implying that most of the Panther organizations are false and delegitimate and scamming people or whatever the hell she said to appease Taharka Bey. So right there, that was another red flag. But then this dude started talking. This dude right here, Charles. Yeah, we got your shit too now, Charles. Don't get it twisted. We know about you, homie. But this part right here.
It says, sis, Let me swing on around to Bro Charles. Bro Charles, tell us a little bit about yourself, and let's get it started.
Peace, Mo. Peace, family.
Hey,
Um, I started being an activist in 2014. The pigs arrested me for walking on the highway. I'm a single dad, taking care of a little girl by myself. And they locked me up for walking on the highway and gave me child endangerment and soliciting to a minor service.
So let's. You heard what he said? Let me roll it back one time. Hold up, real quick, just to make sure y'all heard that shit. This is now. Remember, this is somebody who you will see on Taharka Bey's channel, heavy, along with this sis right here. I'm not even gonna get into her because she has enough shenanigans about her. But this dude, you will see on his channel religiously supporting Taharka Bey, and of course, Taharka Bey supports him enough to where he even had him on his channel just so he could slander legitimate organizations by using an organization that nobody fucks with, no one's really heard of, some just popped up recently shit. Now this is the same dude, Taharka Bey, who says, how come these cats just pop out of nowhere with no kind of work, whoop-de-whoop? No. This organization pretty much popped out of nowhere, and these individuals are not legitimate, and they can't run with any circles. That's why they've been kicked out of many circles. Why have Charles been kicked out of many circles? He just told you why.
They locked me up for walking on the highway and gave me child endangerment and soliciting to a minor service.
Soliciting to a minor. That's why he gets kicked out of so many circles. That's why nobody fucks with him. And that's not even the only. That's not only the only dirt. That's not even the only instance of sexual misconduct. This is why he keeps getting kicked out. Because he has a pattern of this. And Panthers don't allow that kind of shit. Period. You better stay in your basement with your made up little organization fucking with Taharka Bey. Because you're not going to hit the streets anywhere where you might be spotted by a legitimate organization. Period. So that's that dude. Crazy, right? This was not intentional. Keep that in mind. This wasn't intentional. I didn't know at this time that I made that video that TB was also a sex offender, but now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why all of a sudden he's not going hard on Polite. He's not going in on Polite. All the different things that he's going in on, he's not going in on Polite anymore. I wonder why. He teams up with goofballs that are also been charged with sex offenses. He said, now listen what he said. He said he was walking down the street. Let's just one more time. Let's just say it one more time. Where is it at? One more time. Let's hear it out of his own mouth. I got time to be making up shit. These cats expose their damn selves. They talk so damn much they can't help but to say some shit that incriminates them. See, we never made up anything about Taharka Bey. We showed you what he said and what court paperwork that he signed said. Nothing had to be makeup. In fact, we couldn't make up. If we were to try to make up some shit, we couldn't make up how bad his record really is. The shit that he really has done for real. We couldn't have made up something that egregious.
Myself. And they locked me up for walking on the highway and gave me child endangerment and soliciting to a minor service.
So ever since Buzzy Blah, that's what he was going to say. In case you wondered, that was just a thick accent. He was going to say, so ever since Buzzy Blah. But he was walking down the street with a minor. They gave him child endangerment and soliciting to a minor. Soliciting to a minor means sexually. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that he was trying to sell her some, you know what I'm saying, Girl Scout cookies. Soliciting to a minor. You look it up. So what a coincidence. Now, do you really think that he's really going to be trying to sue Sonetta or anyone else? He can't. In fact, I got a screenshot today earlier. And he's not even, he wants to talk about Ukraine now. I think that's what one of the shows that he has coming up. He wants to talk about Ukraine. He doesn't want to talk about how innocent he is. He went and got the paperwork yesterday. Think about that. He went to get the paperwork that he said was false yesterday. After getting it, he decides not to share it publicly. No, now you got to pay money to go to his channel to see it after he goes through it. Now, if he's transparent, he should be able to pull that paperwork because everyone's already seen it. It's the same damn paperwork, 37 pages, just like he said. Page 22, exactly like we said. It's right there. Now, if he was transparent and if he was innocent, he would easily be able to take that paperwork in real time and show you that shit live. But he can't do that. He didn't show it. He made sure it was covered. He talked about everything except that paperwork, in essence. Now he don't want to bring it up. The graveyard channels are adjusting Taharka Bey. The mighty people's Grand Sheik is getting adjusted. See, at first he didn't really care when it was just us. His fear was that bigger, larger platforms would pick it up. And I get it why some of them didn't or haven't yet. Because you don't want to be associated with some goofy shit if it's false. But this quote unquote goofy shit is 100% legit. The paperwork is the paperwork. We did not alter anything. He has the same paperwork. You just seen it. You just seen it on Exposing Taharka Bey's channel. The exact same. All she did is zoomed in to what he was pulling up on his own computer. And the exact same thing is right there. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let's see what else I had. I want to share something else before I get up out of here. Let's just go back one more time just to show you. One more again. Let's go back to Exposing Taharka Bey's channel. The video is called Taharka Bey Admits the Documents Are True. See, he's not saying they're falsified anymore. Now he's trying to say that we just don't know how to read. So I'm assuming what he's going to do if he shows that paperwork in his .com is he's going to be like, yo, you see, this is what this really is supposed to mean. And listen, man, first of all, if you take any type of comprehension of reading from this dude, you're a lost cause. So this is over your head. And if you can still support someone who even, look at this. This is his own shit. Let's look at it.
Oh, bruh, you tried to lie and say we were lying on you, talking about you gonna do lawsuits. What is this right here, Negro?
This is why he's trying to go and spin the narrative by saying, "Oh, we misinterpreted it." The same bullshit that email that Jay Dizzle got.
He talked about everything but the kitchen goddamn sink. He tried to blame it on the pie. He tried to say I'm crazy, that they need to take my pharmaceutical license. They need to stop to get cause I met a very bad person. He was selling dope in his crib when he was 2 months old. He tried to say the pie was burning people's hair in the kitchen when she was 4 years old. I mean, he was trying to say everything he could to get off the fact that the paperwork was true.
You can't see the case number, right? He blocked that, right?
We know it's the same case.
We know it's the same paper.
It's the exact same paper, y'all. That's the exact same paper. Page 22.
That's one.
It's right there. This is him. Listen, just understand something. This is him, right? That's him right there at the computer, looking up his record. Found the exact same shit we found. That's the same document, and it's no different than what we showed you. Now, of course, he tried to put some letterings in front of it. You know, he tried to do all that shit, but we know what it is. This is him. There's no excuse for this. This is him. It's this same Negro. Yes, him. That's who it is. Let's go back to that real quick. Man, that hits a little different now, don't it? It's a little bit different now, don't it?
Do y'all realize all that I do for you and that what I gotta go through? Let me ask you a question. Do y'all realize all that I do for you and all the things that I go through? Listen, we got people out here that is super obsessive and crazy. I want y'all to walk with me for a second. This is not about the show, but somebody sent me a screenshot where somebody is online saying that I'm a sex offender. Moi? I'm a sex offender. Somebody's online saying that Taharka Bey is a sex offender. Moi? Either whoever is saying that has the dumbest audience on the planet Earth, or they believe that their audience is the dumbest audience on the planet Earth. Do you know that in any state you can pull up the sexual offender registry? Do anybody know that? Press 7 if you know that. Do anybody know that? Do anybody know that any document that anybody have, anybody can pull it up to see if it was doctored or altered? Press 7. Do anybody know these things? In fact, pun intended, moi, sex offender? It's moi? Listen.
Yeah. Yes, you. Yes, you. I mean, I always thought it was kind of funny how he just kind of laughed that off and he just made it like it was a joke. And now that you see that even when he pulls it, it's the same thing, what can you say? Can you still support someone who was at one point a registered sex offender? Now, of course, the reason he'll tell you to check the registry is because he's not on there anymore. But in 2016, he most definitely was. Because he pulled the paperwork himself at this point. No coincidence he didn't show that. No coincidence he didn't go hard on that on YouTube. No coincidence that he's not going to be suing Sarnelli anymore. He definitely ain't going to be doing that litigation march. Napah, you need to, though. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump to that. So I ain't really got too much time, like I said. So let's go ahead and jump to that. Let's get this thing popping, so I can get up out of her. Like I said, I got flights to catch. You know what I'm saying? Properties to look at. Now that I ain't got to worry about being sued and it being taken from me. Let's go. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, okay, it's the same one. My bad, it was the same shit. We just got to move it up to about the 38-minute mark. Make sure y'all check out this video, man. They really went in. They really went in last night. Here we go. Let's go.
New York revenge porn laws, right? In New York State, it is a criminal and civil offense to disclose an intimate image of another person with the intent to cause harm. Threats to disclose can be addressed civilly. This act is punishable it's punishable by up to 1 year in jail or 3 years probation and a fine of up to $1,000 in criminal court. And that's New York. You know, so I guess Napah would be doing that in Maryland, right?
Do the one right underneath there says fine law. It'll probably break down the difference.
Ooh, look at them research eyes. Look at those research
2020,
eyes.
honey, 2020, I tell you.
Them research eyes. All right, hold up. Intentional distribution of non-consensual porn or revenge porn is a type of online harassment that occurs when an ex-partner or even a hacker. That's where Toronto will fall under, correct?
I would call him a hacker.
Right? Because it wasn't given to him. And he's expressed on several streams that, oh, it's out there. So I can get it. She didn't give it to you. Sa didn't give it to you.
Read.
Who gave it to you?
Read, DSP.
I'm not going to sit here and accuse anyone, but I'm just asking him who gave it to him. So I'm going to call him a hacker. He can fall right under hacker.
He does in this instant. He does. Hacker doesn't just mean that you
sexually explicit images of a person online without their permission.
Get to that part right there at the bottom and say, to be clear.
To be clear, revenge porn is a form of cyber sexual harassment, or in some cases, cyberbullying, and should be taken very seriously, particularly if minors, those under the age of 18 years old, are a subject of the revenge porn. Ooh, hold on. Let's get to the penalties. Penalties can be steep, and civil lawsuits may also arise from posting these non-consensual pornographic materials, including injunction.
Hold. Napah, you see this? Civil lawsuit.
Yes. So it can be criminal and a civil. Yikes.
Because he received money.
Yeah, and he loves to pocket watch. And he's always bragging about, oh, I just did a down payment with $25,000. I was like, okay, keep talking. Keep running your mouth.
And he's still owed $7,000.
Yeah. You might have to give Unity Hall to Napah. Injunctions, infringement notices, formal warnings, takedown notices. How many states have revenge porn laws? As of 2020, 42 states and the District of Columbia have specific laws outlawing distribution of revenge porn. However, revenge porn laws are still relatively new, and the laws are continuing to develop. In order to be guilty of this crime in most states, the distributor must be sending out pictures or video that are considered sexual in nature, such as showing the victim's intimate body parts, or engaging in a sexual act. So Toronto, oh no, because masturbation would be considered
sexual act.
Oh, Simply posting an unflattering picture of your ex in a bathing suit is not pornographic. Absent any other circumstances, such as victim's genitalia being visible. Toronto. What is going on? Oh, wait, there's the states. Hold on now. Woo! Shout out to the research ninja. She caught the website. She caught that website like 1, 2, 3. So he wouldn't be under DC.
He in Maryland.
He would be in Maryland.
There it is.
Intentionally. Wait, Maryland Criminal Law Code Section 3809. Because I want them to see that this is real. You know what I'm saying? Intentionally placing on the internet or photograph, film, videotape, recording, or any other reproduction of the image of the other person engaged in a sexual
You see what that said? That said intentionally placing on the internet, as in a website, photographic. Let me grab this damn computer. Photographic, film, videotape, recording, or any other reproduction of the image of the other person engaged in sexual contact.
Engaged in sexual contact. 1, knowing that the other person did not consent to the placement of the image on the internet. And 2, under circumstances in which the other person had a reasonable expectation that the image would be kept private.
So in other words, even if you received some images and you without consent, meaning you didn't get consent from the person, you didn't get any kind of express consent, it's revenge porn. Now add the element that when you hear Taharka Bey speak about it, he did it for revenge. He did it because he was mad. He did it because she quote unquote attacked him, or Sanada attacked him. So as a response, his words, in other words, revenge. And then he monetized it. He took images that he wasn't supposed to have, and without consent, that were sexual in nature, and without consent, distributed them, published them to his own website, which he monetizes. Now, he didn't directly sell them, but there's plenty of videos of him promoting his website to people we're exposing Napah's sexual videos and pictures. So he committed revenge porn, which is a sexual crime. It's a sexual crime. He did that on YouTube.
Do y'all realize all that I do for you and that what I gotta go through? Let me ask you a question. Do y'all realize all that I do for you and all the things that I go through? Listen, we got people out here that is super obsessive and crazy. I want y'all to walk with me for a second. This is not about the show, but somebody sent me a screenshot where somebody is online saying that I'm a sex offender. Moi? I'm a sex offender.
Yeah, we know. We know goddamn well you're a sex offender, but let's continue with this revenge porn situation. I mean, he's already committed one act of sex offense. He's on the registry. 1 + 1 is no, it's 2. It adds up.
Misdemeanor, up to 2 years in jail, fine $500, and that would be just the criminal law code, right? That's not the civil.
Right. The civil suit, that would be up to the judge. She has to determine the damages amount that she endured, how much loss she then took. And as a YouTuber who's monetized, she can show her analytics on what she lost over the past months since he posted it.
Wow, yes.
And he would have to give her the money that he gained from that. The judge will order that. Mm-hmm.
That means the money made from the website, for one.
So I just wanted to show them that, yes, it is a crime, and it is a crime in his state. So he really needs to relax.
But I would think that would actually be a federal crime at this point, because you have 2 different states involved. Because when you're dealing with internet, and now you could do things that are cross-jurisdictional, now it becomes federal. So,
get that shit off his subscription website, because he is not registered to even be in the porn business.
Bam.
So get it off the site, buddy.
And she did not give him consent to put it up there.
Nope.
So no matter he told me it was here, it was there. Doesn't matter.
He's just hurting himself by saying that.
And the judge can ask, can you show paperwork where she gave you consent? It was signed, notarized. Was there a contract that she gave you consent? No, Your Honor, I cannot show that she gave me consent. Was it a recorded conversation? Because I don't know if his audio is allowed in Maryland. No, Your Honor, there was no recorded conversation. So you have no evidence that she gave you consent to show that video? No, Your Honor, I don't. But she had it on here. It does not matter.
Doesn't matter. Exactly.
He did not give you consent to put up her private nudes. So therefore, sir, in honor of the plaintiff, pay her.
Yeah,
and matter of fact, sit your ass in jail for 2 goddamn years.
Yeah, because you acted up. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? But the thing is, he's openly realize it, but he's openly admitting to getting this. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this man?
Mm-hmm. And he said in the video, some I got off of this page and some was sent to me anonymously in my email. Oh, so she didn't give you consent.
Right.
So you hacked it
in the video, and we got copies, baby. Oh, we got you. you
hacked it pretty much.
That you received them anonymously and you posted them. Oh, okay. She got you. That's an open and shut case. Easy.
Easy money. Easy money. Let's go ahead. I want to end it like this real quick, just to show you. First of all, this is a video, or a part of a video from Taharka's live stream. Where's it go? It's called "I Got That Paperwork," but he never showed the paperwork. That's the name of it. Ironically, is "I Got That Paperwork." Right now, of course, he didn't show it because it was the exact same paperwork that we already showed you. So he wasn't going to show that, because now he has to think about how he's going to address this situation. But somebody called in, one of his own supporters called in. And if you've been paying attention, you notice that lately, not only is his views down, because people ain't fucking with him as much, but also that people are challenging him more and more, to the point where he can't even erase them all. So he's actually responding to some. Now he screens who he allows to call in and who he allows to live stream with him. But this person got through. They weren't disrespectful or anything like that. They didn't really call him out too hard, but enough was said to not only show you that what he did to Napah was out of revenge, it also just shows you his character, and that even his supporters are starting to turn against him, or at least question him.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But let me tell you something. One thing about me, brother, I don't duck nobody.
That's a lie.
And if I can't get through, or you can't get through, it's just a technical problem. But with that being said, you was making a lot of comments in the chat. What is your premise now?
I don't have a premise. I'm more so, I have nothing against you, Taharka.
No.
Hold up real quick. Now look at this man in the background here. If you're a Moor, you should be disgusted by the fact that this dude will sit up in front of your prophet as a registered sex offender, scammer, woman beater, children abuser, breaking and entering, and even selling by proxy because of his subscription-based website, naked pictures, illegally without consent. That should disturb you. And that should make you make a real effort to make sure that he is not allowed to enter any legitimate temple. Now, we know whatever he has going on isn't really registered. We know he's not really a Bey. He's not really registered himself as far as being an actual Moor by changing his name and being under an incorporation that's legitimate. We know that. But he still masquerades as one, and he still thinks he can reach out and contact some. And he should not be able to reach out and contact any, in my opinion, but I'm not a Moor. So that's up to y'all.
No. This ain't about me against you. It's about your perception or your philosophy of how things are going at this stage of Moorish World TV.
I'm trying to finish. If you'll let me finish, good bro.
Oh, my apology. Go ahead.
I was saying, man, I'm more so disappointed in you, man. The first time I saw you with the Bey and Rawborn, and you was beautifully breaking down the science of nationality. And now we got all these
Now, let me comment on that, because actually the very first video I ever made mentioning Taharka Bey was the video that was just referenced, and that was him doing a debate against Rawborn, and I think the debate was Moorish science or black nationalism, which way is the way forward, blah, blah, blah. And I even admitted on the video that I made, even though the video was called Rawborn Washes Taharka Bey, because he did, and I even in the video at that time, I didn't really, I didn't really know Taharka Bey enough to be 100% like, fuck this dude. But I did think Taharka Bey would have won that, only because I've never seen Rawborn debate. I didn't think that Taharka Bey would have won because Moorish science is the best way, because to me it's not. I just thought he would articulate it better than Rawborn, but I was wrong. Rawborn washed him. But anyway.
WWL exposés, and I'm disappointed in you, brother. You way better than that. That's my whole premise.
I got you. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Can you gave me an example of Rawborn. Now give me the example of the WWF.
The WWF
specifically, not generally, specifically.
Okay. The Napah thing, you were out of line for that.
Okay. Hold up. Are you aware that Napah and Sanetta did a whole show talking about I'm shacking up with somebody, that my son is not my son, that I'm not married? Are you aware of that?
I am, but
what he's doing is he's setting his defense, but he's also setting his trap, his own trap. Because what he's going to say, his response is going to be that, hey, they attacked me, so I just did some research, pulled up some stuff, and as a response, and I put it out there. Well, by definition, that's revenge porn. What he's trying to do there is trying to make it seem like, no, he's the good guy. He only did it because he was attacked, and he did it as a response because he's not really goofing with the WWE shit. No. He only did it because he was attacked and he was protecting himself. But he did it as a response, and AKA revenge. And therefore, this right here is pretty incriminating if someone was going to take a revenge porn case against him.
Oh, okay. So hold up now. So hold up. Let me respond, please. So if you are aware of that, I was attacked. Now, my response is, why are they attacking me? And so I go to look up people that attack me. I don't initially look up anybody.
That's another word for hacking, by the way.
I go and look up people. And once I find what I find, I bring it to the people. Consequently, I find that Napah was screaming Israelite this, Israelite that, and she had buck naked dancing pictures all over the internet. And
but he's case closed. There it is. You're not taking that to the judge and thinking that you're going to win the case. I guarantee you that. You just pretty much fit all of the necessary elements to be convicted of revenge porn.
So, in contrast to what people thought Napah was, I had to show people who Napah is. Now, you might call that WWE, but I call that a response. If one attack,
and some might call that revenge. And you just said that there are butt naked pictures, that makes them pornographic. Let's put it together. What does that make it? Revenge porn. Punishable by fines and time. And being re-registered on that damn list that you're already registered on. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. It just all adds together now. I don't care how brainwashed you were supporting this dude. See, the difference is this, because he took a couple shots at me and others on this video. And you can take the shots if you want to. Yeah, we're small channels. Whatever the case may be. But what we said is true. And as this word seeps into people's minds and they understand it and accept it, everything, it's going to become clear. Like if you've ever been scammed, it's hard to really or something, the light will turn on and then you'll realize everything was just a fucking fraud. It was a farce. It was propaganda, like he said himself. So it's no coincidence that someone who was already previously registered on the sex offense registry would be engaging in activity like this. Obviously, it's a pattern. Just like his whole criminal record, it's a pattern. And he just happens to get exposed. And every time he gets exposed, what does he say? I was going to write a book. He said this in 2018 when he first got exposed for all, DV shit. What happened? Oh, you guys are making me come out with my book too early. Yeah. He never came out with that book. See, that's just cap. Now he's saying with all this stuff going on now, he's going to write a book. No one's reading a Taharka Bey book. No one's reading a book from somebody who's fucking illiterate. Let's get that straight. That's not happening. Nobody's buying no damn book. And you're not writing no damn book. But that's just the cap every time he gets caught on some bullshit. Oh, I was going to show this as an inspirational tale of what you could do with this more science, but he's never taught more science. Let's keep it a buck.
The next thing that I do is, why is this person attacking me? I don't know Napah. I have no beef with Napah. You understand? So I begin to research the person.
And that's another word for hacking, by the way. So that's why it says, saying whether it's a ex-lover or a hacker. It doesn't mean hacker like you went into the computer using using code to get into their computer. No, it just means that if you retrieved it, you retrieved it some type of way that wasn't directly from the person. And that's what he did. He just pretty much laid out a flat, open and shut case for his own conviction of a second sex crime. Or I don't know how many. I'm assuming it would only be a second, but I could be wrong.
Consequently, I find what I find.
And then he shares it with the people without consent.
But
there are no rules in reaction. I believe that.
no, listen to me. I want you to understand the principle of what I'm saying. This is not garbage. I'm telling you that she's on one end, claimed to be a principled woman, saying that I'm not married. However, she go on a person's platform and ultimately get involved with a married man and throw all types of mud and sling all types of dirt. And now I research her and find out who she really is, and I show the people, this is what she show you, this is who she really is. How is that WWE?
Well, if it ain't WWE, we know it is revenge porn by the letter. You just seen exactly what detailed revenge porn by the criminal law and the civil law, and that's exactly what he just admitted to doing. Like, this dude is, like I told you, this dude exposes himself. It's too easy at this point. It really is. It's too easy. He exposes himself. We don't have to do any work. See, that's the difference. Receipts in him, and self-admission from him. All that exposing he was doing for all these years, just to end up being revealed as a fucking sex offender times 2.
Those people are not your enemies. They have become your master. You know why? Because you let them people control your emotions.
Let's go back.
Because those people are not your enemies. They have become your master. Because those people are not your enemies. They have become your master.
Your master. I already know why. We're his masters now. He responds to us. Even though he delegitimizes our channel, he basically legitimizes our message. Because he now has to respond based upon the information that we've been putting out. The correction of his narrative that we have been doing. The adjusting that we have been conducting. This operation of adjustment has been successful to the point where we have become his masters. Because everything he does now is a response. Now he has to pretend that he's really in the community with the Moors and show pictures of him at some bruncheon with some elders who probably don't know his shenanigans. Because he has to now try to legitimize himself that he is really in the community doing things. He has to tell you about these great, brilliant things that he wants to do now because he's been called out. He has to address or slip this situation now that has come up with him being a sex offender and other things that we've exposed. Now he has to cater what he does and doesn't do. Now he doesn't want to do exposed videos no more. Now he don't even want to be on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, talking about this because his kids are going to watch. So he's going to take it to a private platform where he'll break down the information. But he went and researched it himself and he couldn't show it live. He couldn't show it on his channel, on any of his many live streams he did since he got that paperwork, because it's the exact same. It's not doctored like he tried to say it was before. You're done. Bow down.
Because you let them people control your emotions. At the studio, you went from breaking down the signs to Jerry Springer, man, and I'm disappointed in you.
Let me tell you something. Now,
I understand what you're saying.
Let me explain something to you.
But at the end of the day, you cannot just stoop.
He's about to cut him off. You already know.
Because these people
this is not going to last. He's cutting this nigga off.
That's not what he was doing.
Okay.
He would not be proud of you. He would not be proud of you.
Okay, don't speak for profit.
People are, because that man on that picture behind you, that's not what he was doing.
Okay.
He would not be proud of you. He would not be proud of you.
Don't speak for Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'll take care of that part.
Okay, so he's the authority to speak on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, y'all. I mean, if you're more and you're watching this, I'm just saying, man.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know where I'm sitting at right now?
Where you at, in Maryland somewhere?
I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, sitting in Unity Hall. We have a Morris Temple of America's meeting here. You know what that means? That I didn't stoop to nobody level. That means that I was over here with the left hand and building over here with the right hand. You understand what I'm saying? You know that we have acts. Hold up. Wait for me. Don't confuse YouTube. Don't confuse YouTube with real life. Don't confuse YouTube with real life. In real life, we have halfway houses for people who are on drugs to go and get themselves clean. We have 2 of them in Pennsylvania.
No, that's a lie. He has nothing to do with those ones in Pennsylvania. He showed a video of him meeting up with somebody in Pennsylvania, showing them what they were doing, and him saying he wants to support it. That's not the same of him having halfway houses in Pennsylvania. Let's cut the crap. See, he's only doing this because now he has to legitimize himself as someone doing work because he's been called out for being a detractor in our community without any receipts of actual grassroots activism in his own community, because he's being manipulated and controlled by his masters.
You understand what I'm saying? On this street here. No. I want you to understand. So when you say that I am smarter and I stoop to their level, you just got caught up in the rapture of YouTube. And so you are the one. Hold up. They are your master because you fell for the okie doke.
No, sir. The Most High is my mouth.
Now remember, this is like one of his supporters. We don't know this dude. People turn on him just like I said they would. They're turning on him now. And it's coming so fast he can't control the narrative enough to make he erases and screens everything like he used to. And he has a lot of good moderators that will make sure they erase everything, because they did it just the other day. But it's coming in. It's at such an onslaught that now he can't even control the flood. It's breaching.
No, listen what I'm saying. Understand the wisdom. Understand the wisdom. The wisdom is, if you attack me on YouTube, I will respond. That's number one.
That's called revenge. And when you do it with porn, it's called revenge porn.
One. But let me tell you something. All right, hold up. But do you know that I teach Moorish science 2 times a week?
Damn, he went from 3 to 1 to 2. You don't even know how to add between 1 and 3. But no, we don't know that because you have a channel called Moorish World TV, but you don't speak no Moorish science there. But check out what he's going to say, though.
Are you aware? Are you aware that I teach Moorish science?
No, because nobody gives a fuck about you teaching no damn Moorish science.
Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube. Guess why not on YouTube? Guess why?
It's Moorish World TV, brother.
No. I want to tell you why. Because I'm not going to trivialize something that I hold dear to my heart with these weirdos on YouTube. I'm not going to
on YouTube. But he's going to do it on Facebook because that's different. These weirdos on YouTube, he's live right now with a bunch of weirdos watching him. They're called his subscribers that support him. But he's not going to give them substance like the teachings that he say changed his life. He's not going to share with those weirdos on YouTube. He's just going to go with the weirdos on Facebook, I guess. Because the same people on YouTube are also on Facebook. So basically what he's saying is on Moorish World TV, he can't teach the good message and gospel of the prophet because too many weirdos. But what he can do is expose everyone for doing things less than what he does. That's just interesting, I guess.
Trivialize it. So the place, there's a time and there's a place, there's a time and a place for everything. I will not trivialize some divine teachings on YouTube to entertain you or anybody else.
Then why will you sit in front of that prophet on a platform called Moorish World TV on YouTube with his picture behind you, but you won't teach the good teachings that he taught that saved you? Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't, because nothing he does makes sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that he said that we've doctored some paperwork and then he pulled the paperwork, accidentally showed it, but did not make any effort to show that on his live stream and to explain how it was doctored or how it was misinterpreted. That's weird. No, what's weird is, I'm gonna show you what's weird. Let me show you something weird. This is fucking weird when somebody's pulling up your record of being a sex offender. This is a weird response.
Do y'all realize all that I do for you? Do y'all realize all that I do for you and that what I gotta go through? Let me ask you a question. Do y'all realize all that I do for you and all the things that I go through? Listen, we got people out here that is super obsessive and crazy. I want y'all to walk with me for a second. This is not about the show, but somebody sent me a screenshot where somebody is online saying that I'm a sex offender. Moi? I'm a sex offender. Somebody's online saying that Taharka Bey is a sex offender. Moi? Either whoever is saying that has the dumbest audience on the planet Earth, or they believe that their audience is the dumbest audience on the planet Earth. Do you know that in any state you can pull up the sexual offender registry? Do anybody know that? Press 7 if you know that. Do anybody know that? Do anybody know that any document that anybody have, anybody can pull it up to see if it was doctored or altered? Press 7. Do anybody know these things? In fact, pun intended, moi, sex offender? It's moi?